Good morning, YouTubers. I've got something very special to show you here. A new instrument to the collection. If you've never seen one of these before, yes, I'm very fat, so it's having trouble fitting on my lap. This is an Autoharp, otherwise known as a corded zither. And you can play them on your lap, like this, or on a table. Or you can play them like June Carter Cash and Mother Maybelle used to play them, and play them upright, which either way is cool. I think I prefer to play it lap style, with a slight adjustment. Now, the way this works, anyone can play this. You don't need any musical knowledge, and all you need to really know in the way of lessons is where the buttons are. There are 21 buttons on this. Unfortunately, we've got a string missing. You can see that there. But I'm going to get some new strings and have that put back. And the thing does need a clean. This is a very old instrument. This is an Oscar Schmidt model. Very important to say that correctly. And I think that's kind of a comfortable way that I like to play this. Probably not an accepted way to hold the instrument, but I'm going to hold it this way. And the way this works is you can see this chord box here on the instrument. In fact, let's bring the camera in a little closer. So you have this chord box with the buttons. Under these buttons are bars. On even older harps and some of the newer ones, you can see the chord bar assembly. And under those bars are felts, and they are supposed to mute out the notes that aren't needed for specific chords. There are 36 strings on this instrument. You don't get every chord of the chromatic scale, but you do get all the notes. So there are a wide range of songs that you can play on this instrument. I'm going to play you an old American standard here on it, and we'll just see what you think. Good thing is you can get simple or as complicated as you like. My love, to take a walk, just a little walk along with me, down the side where the waters flow, along the banks of the Ohio, and always say that you'll be mine. In the world, there's arms and time, down the side where the waters flow, along I plunge the knife into her breast, in her fear. She was distressed. She cried, "Oh Willie, don't murder me, for I'm not ready for eternity." And so on and so forth. You can hear this is quite a loud, sustaining instrument. One of the challenges is to keep it in tune. There are 21 chords, as I say, so you get 7 major chords, 7 seventh chords, and 7 minor chords. Now, because this is quite an old instrument, the buttons have moved a little bit out of line. Some of the felts don't work as well as they should, but we'll run quickly through the chords that you do get. So, first chord is a pretty dodgy flat chord. On all Autoharps, that really does sound kind of odd. I know people have moved the chord bars around. On some models you can. And they've swapped that out for an E major chord, which makes more sense. Then we have a B flat.
On face, face near bottom edge.
Thank you. We have an F, a C, a G, a D, and an A. All that washboard sound. Some people don't like the scrape. If you use a thicker pick, you get less of a scraping sound. Now, on the 7th row, we've got F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. And then on the minors row, some lovely chords here. An A flat minor, which makes no sense at all. A B flat minor, one of my favourites, the C minor. A G minor, a D minor, an A minor, and an E minor chord. And I just muted out there to stop the sound. And you can simply do that by covering up all the strings and the sound goes. These chords don't sound as good as they normally would because, of course, we've got that missing string. And, you know, it's an eBay purchase, and I know some people are already giving that sharp intake of breath in horror because all these top strings have been done terribly. They've not been done right, so we've got that all across the top, which is terrible. So I'm hopefully going to have that sorted out as well. And there's nothing wrong with the strings, I don't think. They've just been put on wrongly, which is kind of sad. Although those high notes, to be honest, you don't use them. You've got to use a pick when you're playing one of these, because if you use your nails, you're going to have, pretty soon you're going to have no nails at all. If you don't press a chord bar, this is what happens. It's a horrible noise. I think they used to use that in the Hammer horror films when the monster had come out. If you press a chord bar, you get that lovely noise, and you can strum just downstrokes, you can use upstrokes. If you use just downstrokes, doesn't matter. In fact, you get a bit of a nicer, bassier sound. These do pop out of tune quite a bit at first. When the strings are settling into tune, it you use something a bit like a clock key. Only I think the wrench is slightly bigger. But on the whole, this was a great purchase. I mean, I'll move it closer to the camera so you can see here. Very, very old style. It's all wood. There is a screw rattling around in there, which I'm not happy about, but not a lot we can do. There's a lot of mechanics involved. Unfortunately, with an instrument of this age, it's a case of, you know, the inevitable happening, I'm afraid. There's a lot of mechanics involved. It's possible to spend a lot of money getting one of these seen to, getting one of these worked on. And you end up spending more than you actually spent on the instrument. To be honest, this isn't going to have a lot of work done on it. I'm just going to restring it, have it cleaned up, and then it'll be in good playing order for what I want. I bought this mainly, as well as for my own enjoyment, for people who come to the house and they want to join in with whatever song we happen to be playing, because it's inevitable at some point. Instruments are going to come out, songs are going to be sung, and sometimes you will get someone who doesn't know how to play a guitar or an accordion or a piano or anything like that. And we can just get this out, show them what buttons they need to play, or press rather, to play the song, and away they'll go. So, you know, if we're playing, for example, I'm just testing out that E minor button, it doesn't look too clever. Again, you know, this is inevitable. The bars just simply wear out. The belts do. All the springs do. And the buttons just get a little bit tight or a wee bit loose. So, as I say, if we're playing the St. James Infirmary Blues, I can say, well, all you need is your C minor and G minor chords. Show them where they are. Chuck in an F minor if you want to, or another G minor. No. Chuck in F7, sorry. Well, I'm down in Autoharp. All of the boys was there, but nobody understood my trouble. There ain't nobody seemed to care. And so on and so forth. So, you know, just by holding down a couple of buttons, they can become a musician in minutes. And this is a real instrument. It's not a toy, you know. It's a lot of people kind of sneer at the Autoharp, but I think they're great musicians that play this instrument. As I say, the Carter family use them. A lot of bluegrass and mountain bands use them. Brian Bowers and Tina Louise Barr, great Autoharp players. Billy Connolly plays one, so, you know, they're not toys. You could say they're a bit of a gimmick instrument, but they are a lot of fun. So, till next time, friends, you'll see this again when it's got its strings all sorted out. But till next time, from me and the Autoharp, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you down the road.
Stop recording video.